Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adara and today we're going to be doing something fun. I took a little look at my TBR for November and I took a little look at my TBR in general. And something that I thought we could do is we could read like more popular romance authors, because I have 3 books on there which I think most people would be like, oh yeah, I know that, or I've heard of that, and kind of going around, and it's on most people's bookshelves. And that's this little list. So we have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, we have Bride by Ellie Hazelwood, and then we have Betting on You by Lynn Painter. And I think everyone has heard of these 3 authors. Maybe not specifically these books, but you've heard of the authors. And these are gonna be so fun. It's gonna be such a fun time. I'm thinking I'll start with The Dead Romantics because I have lured my friend into buddy reading it with me, and it's gonna be the most fun. I am hopefully gonna be able to find some of them on audiobook. Why am I sitting with a cell phone? Well, you got the point. I'm hopefully gonna be able to find some of them on audiobook, just so we can be a little productive while maybe, because we are in the Christmas period. I'm one of those people who decide that they can create anything themselves. So I am crocheting like hell to get through the crocheting TBR, I guess, to be crocheted, that I've done for myself. But these are gonna be really fun, and I am really excited to take you along with me. This feels like a slight crossover, and that's because I am about halfway through The Dead Romantics, and I was listening to it on audiobook while I was doing the 7-year slip edge painting that I did in my previous video. So it feels illegal that I filmed content for that and then immediately after film content for this. But back to the actual point of this. I'm just at the start of chapter 15, so it's not because I'm halfway yet, but I'm 2/3 is a bit over 2/3, I think. Ashley Poston has a brilliant way of writing people in a way where they're attractive but they're realistic. And I think that's something that some authors doesn't do that well. Like, they create fun characters, but they don't seem realistic, and Ashley Poston does that. And the characters she's created are annoying and have faults and are so attractive, and she's doing such a wonderful job. And the whole reasonings for these things are really, really good. You can see the reason behind the actions that people are doing. And I love when you know 1 + 1 = 2. When you can see and think yourself to why they're responding and reacting the way they are. And I love that about her writing. And I think the MMC is absolutely adorable. I like him so much. Normalize not remembering a character's name ever in the history of the world, because Benji, I remembered. And her name is Florence. Oh my god, I'm impressing myself every single day. And this is such a fun time, and the MC is wonderful, and the FMC is slightly annoying, but not too annoying, but annoying enough that I can tell that's gonna be the character development that she's gonna have is gonna be related to that. And honestly, I'm fine with it. It doesn't have to be that serious, but I'm having fun. I really am. And I'm really excited to see where it's gonna go. And the audiobook is really good. So I'm gonna continue listening to the audiobook and do some more DIYing. And then I'm gonna check in with you probably at about 60%, 70-ish, just so it evens out. I'm about 2/3 now, and it is really good. I'm honestly enjoying it quite a bit. I'm buddy reading it with one of my best friends, Julia, and I am a little torn. And that the reason why I'm torn is that at 30-40% mark, I wrote to her, because this is a reread for her. I wrote to her and I was like, there's no way this is real, right? Like a specific thing that I thought was foreshadowing for the end. And she was like, yeah, I heard a lot of people didn't catch that, but no, that's true. So I'm a little sad that a bigger part of the book was so easy to see my way out of at the 30% mark, because it's a pretty big thing that I guessed. So it feels a bit sad to know, I don't know, it feels a bit sad that it wasn't better hidden or better written away. I do think it's cute though. I am really having fun with it, and the narrator is really good. I'm still listening to it on audiobook. I did my nails because this one broke in half, really annoying. And I have perhaps done the ugliest frogs to date, because before I only had a frog on this one and this one, and now I have a frog on the pinkies as well. And look at how ugly these frogs are. I love them. This one's like really sniffing at you. I think they're really cute. And I am in no way good at making nails yet. That's not what I'm saying. And I know that's also why they fall off more frequently, because I'm not good enough at them yet. And I'll get there when I get there. I'm not really stressing about it. And that's why I keep making the same design, because then it's not as obvious when I remake them. And also because I want to make some like good Christmas nails when we get to that point. So this one I can redo infinitely, I guess, until I'm ready to that. Right, yes, I'm getting distracted. Estimated rating. I think I would put this... It's a little weird because I am having fun with it, but I'm having a hard time rating it. And I really don't know why. I think it's maybe because I usually don't listen to it on audiobook, so it's throwing me slightly off that I have to rate it like if it was a physical book. While of course it is a physical book, but I'm also most likely gonna read most of the rest of it physically, so maybe that'll help settle it on something. But right now I'm settling on a 4. 3.754 is where I'm kind of leaning, at least. Let's see if I agree with it in 120 pages. And then we can see where we're at. Oh yeah, right now I'm at like halfway through chapter 28. And I'm having fun. I'm really having fun, and I'm really happy I picked up this book. I finished The Dead Romantics, and it was honestly such a good book. I loved how real everything was in it. And I loved the story with the dad, and I loved how they were all coming to terms with it. And I loved the characters that were in it, and they were all realistic, and it was a really, really good story. And there's a reason Ashley Parson has popular books, because they're good. One thing I really disliked about it though was the fact that we had this ending, and this ending didn't hit right. To the point where I was thinking of giving it a 4.5, maybe even a 4.75, and the ending actually took it down to like a 4.25. And you have to fuck up pretty fucking badly to lose that much of a star rating that late in a book. And it was really like 20 pages that lost it that much. And that made me really sad, because it was just such a cheap way for the author to get more pages in, and to add more angst and add a big time skip. And I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I know that the author tried to be like, oh, she didn't need a man to be successful, but it just annoyed me. And sometimes just relax with it, okay? Because this ending was not it. I'm really happy I read it, and I listened to the entire thing, and I had the time of my life, right? So I am gonna put it at a 4. Yeah, I actually don't think I want to put it any higher. So 4 stars. Right. What I really like about this is that it's so floppy. Love that for me. It just makes it so much easier to read. So this one I'm definitely reading physically. I find it really weird that Ali Hazelwood goes from writing closed door smut to writing this kind of smut. But what do I know? Nothing yet, but I will in a bit. I think the general plot I have of this idea is that arranged marriage between a vampire and a werewolf, because they're both like leading people in the city to make peace between the species. That's all I know, to be fair. But let's get it started. I wonder if it's dual point of view though. I love dual point of view. But Ali Hazelwood never writes dual point of view. Let's see. I really didn't mean to, but yesterday night at about 10, 11-ish, I started Bride. And I was just thinking, you know, let me get a few chapters in, maybe 50 pages or so. Tell me why I went to bed having 30 minutes left. Which means I haven't updated you for shit, because I did indeed finish my 30 minutes this morning. This was phenomenal. This was phenomenal. This was such a good read. Like, I'm actually like a little baffled, and it ended on like what could have been the extension of it, you know, what could have been the second book. And I want a second book so bad. Ali Hazelwood, Ali, let me in, I want more. Phenomenal, 5 stars. And like, actually give me 14 more, please. This was such a good time. And the characters was just realistic in the best way, that they just had that slight annoyance to them, just so they weren't perfect. And they just, I ate them. And the relationship between them, and the chemistry, and he was down bad, which means I'm down bad. And this was absolutely phenomenal. And if you have even just been considering getting into this, please do it. Please do it. I am aware that it's either a hit or miss for a lot of people. because it does have some of the Omegaverse elements in them. It gets a little funky, so go into it with an open mind. But if you do, you'll have the time of your life, because I did. And I just love the fact that in this, it wasn't a case of, oh no, I need someone to save me, like a lot of fucking books are, okay? I don't need a useless FMC, okay? There's so many of those. There's so many. And this was, yeah, she had some social issues, but she was a boss-ass bitch. She was smart, she was driven, she wasn't afraid to give shit back when shit was given. I loved her. The fact that she was called Misery is hilarious. And Lo is fucking hot. Lo is fucking hot. And I'm 5 stars. 5 stars. Thank you. I'm gonna start on betting on you now. And I'm really excited about it because it's been a while since I've read a Lynn Painter book. Yeah, it's been a while since I've read a Lynn Painter book, so I'm kind of excited to get back into a universe, especially because it's young adult. And I like young adult. I'm kind of a read everything kind of person, so give me a good author and I'm there for it. I'll update you. Hopefully more than I did in Bride. I usually don't update you at this point, but I thought I would check in just because I'm getting annoyed. I'm probably like a 4th. This is me. I'm a 4th through and I'm at 98 pages. Why is it making me uncomfortable? So we have our main character Bailey and we have this guy called Charles. Is he called Charles? He's called Charlie. And Charlie seems like an uncomfortable person. Charlie is pushing her to do stuff she doesn't want to do, and when she says no, he keeps pushing her. And I'm sure it's supposed to be like, oh, let me lure you out of your shell, ha 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 ha. No, I don't like it. He keeps saying things that are uncomfortable. He keeps being like, oh yeah, your friend over there, she'll definitely cheat on her boyfriend. Like, the amount of times they talk about cheating is making me uncomfortable. Like, why would you write a young adult that's mainly focused around a bet about 2 people and if they're gonna cheat? The other part, her living with her divorced mom and her slightly getting out into the dating world again. And just the mom having no, like, completely disregarding what the daughter is feeling about having this man in the home. Like, there was one scene where she has every single morning for the last 10 years or something went out of her bedroom in only a huge shirt that she slept in, like no pants, no bra, everything, right? She did that this morning as well. Of course she did. And then suddenly this man just comes walking in. And then her mom's like, you should wear clothes around their house when we have guests. But she didn't tell her that she had guests over. So it's just this really uncomfortable feeling. We kind of have 2 side-laying plots. And one plot is, hey, we're making you feel unsafe in your home. And the other plot is, hey, look how your friend is cheating and let's bet on it and make it really fun. And then we have the romance of it, which is quite literally, hey, I'm gonna be mean to you and expect you to follow along. Which of these plots was I supposed to care about? Which parts of these plots where I'm like, oh, that's so cute? No. Literally, all of the things going on in here so far is making me uncomfortable. So, that's fun. I think I'll give it, I don't know. I don't really know what to do. Since I'm only 100 pages in, I'm literally a 4th. Because it's 413 pages long. I'm not even a 4th. I'm basically a 4th, but I'm not even a 4th. So I can't even be like, oh, it's over soon, because it's not over soon. It's truly not over soon. So I don't really know what to do. The problem is that my bestie Mel gifted me this book. So I don't wanna DNF it because Mel gifted it to me, right? I'll keep grinding on it, I guess. And then we'll see where we end up. I mean, if it keeps going like this or even getting worse, I do think I'll DNF it. Because my mental health is not worth a book, even if Mel gifted it to me. So I'm gonna keep reading, and then I'll update you when I get to about halfway, or if I decide to DNF it. You remember when I was like, hey, I don't like this book and everything it stands for? I still agree with that, sadly. I'm halfway through, and it's still physically making me uncomfortable. Worse than last time. And because this was a gift from Mel, I texted her and I was like, hey, I'm in this situation where the book you gifted me is making me uncomfortable because of the cheating plotline, the manipulation and rudeness from literally everyone around her, and then like the uncomfortableness with her mom and her home. So I I told her this and she was like, no, you really should DNF it then. Because especially if it's a gift, I feel like there's such a higher stake almost on finishing it, because it's someone gifted this to you. You need to finish it, so tell your opinion, and you should probably also like it. That's sad, it just wasn't what happened. And I had really hoped it was, and I've read from Lynn Painter before, and I've liked her book. And it wasn't the writing, that honestly goes past pretty quickly. It's just specifically in this book, there are too many themes that make me uncomfortable. And I know I'm supposed to believe in their love story and think, oh, it's so cute. But I'm just seeing a guy who keeps pushing past her boundaries. And friends who keep saying, oh, you're such a people pleaser and such a know-it-all. He's just rude, and she's a little too quirky to be realistic. And the reason I say that is because every single time she's anywhere, she can't just, eat a piece of pizza. She has to, I have to separate the toppings, and then the cheese, and then the bread, and then I eat them separately because that is so much better. And oh my god, no, I can't just drink cola. I have to have half diet, half full, so then it tastes so much better. Oh my god. No. I thought so that's the problem. I'm not just hating on the love interest, I'm also hating on our main character. And I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna DNF it. Keep the bookmark in there for if some rainy day I suddenly want to read about cheating and manipulative partners. That also means DNFing the third book, which is kind of sad. I'm quickly gonna take you through what we crocheted for each thing and what we rated them. So we started out with the Dead Romantics, and oh my god, the Dead Romantics was a banger. And I ended up giving the Dead Romantics 4 stars, and that still feels very fitting to me now. And we ended up crocheting this adorable little ghost, because what else was I supposed to crochet for a story about dead people? For the second one, we read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I loved it. It was an instant 5-star for me. And I'm sticking by that. I've been thinking about it every day since I read it. I crocheted this adorable little moon, and it's not very big, but it has that crescent shape, just because how was I gonna crochet a round moon? That's just a circle. So you get the crescent moon. And sadly, since we're DNFing, betting on you, I'm not gonna crochet anything for it. I also don't want to crochet anything. I don't want to spend time on this. So this is going back on my TBR shelf. And then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with it. But I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry I DNF'd the book, but I have too many books on my TBR for me to want to read something I don't like. I really hope you liked the video, and I'm really excited to see you in the next one.